Hi everyone, I am Suraj Chaudhary. I am doing my MBA in SAS Institute of Management Studies in second year. Now today's our discussion topic is supply chain management. Subtopic is demand forecasting in supply chain management. First of all, what is demand? Demand is the requirement of a material or a product by the consumer. It's called as a demand, and forecasting means to research where the material we required or not in proper quantity. So introduction to supply chain management. Supply chain management has been defined as the design, planning, execution, control and monitoring of supply chain activity with the objective of creating new value, building competitive infrastructure, leveraging worldwide logistics, synchronizing supply with demand and measuring performance globally. So in that we will go in brief discussion of this supply chain management. Design. Supply chain design is a design of a system for to make a manufacturing a new product. Design is very essential. In design, there is sequential planning of a product one by one. When process will get completed, then one by one planning is required in supply chain management. This is in design. Planning is the organize planning is related to the product manufacturing, and how to make and where will the things required, that including planning. Execution means when we design and planning, the third part is execution means the application of the whole plan and according to plan. This comes in execution. After execution, control is also important factor in that. In controlling the what we have planning, we have executed, and how it is process is going, these things are included in control. And monitoring means in the working monitoring is also important, where the in monitoring involve how the all processes are carried out. These are involved in supply chain management. The second part is origin of the term and the definition of a supply chain management. In 1982, Keith Oliver, a consultant, and Booz Allen Hamilton introduced the term supply chain management to the public domain in an interview for the Financial Times. In 1983, with Charles Fritz Watch in Germany published for the first time the resulting of implemented and so-called supply chain management project led by Wolfgang Paas. So now we will discuss here demand forecasting in supply chain management. Demand forecasting in supply chain management refers to the process of planning prediction of the demand material to ensure you can deliver the right product and in the right quantity to satisfy customer demand without creating a surplus. Forecast error can result in creating surplus, which is both wasteful and costly. Now we will discuss briefly the forecasting. Demand forecasting is supply chain management refer to the process of planning or predicting the demand of material. Predicting the demand of material means where the materials are have requirement and how we can supply this. How we can supply this. This include in the demand forecasting. In that we have to plan the right material should be provided at the right place in right quantity, and if we are unable to provide the material in right quantity and right place, then it will be a surplus. Surplus means the excessive material will provide where there will be no need. Then is also material will provide, then it creates a wasteful, and it will create a loss in the production of product. The demand forecasting, we have importance of demand forecasting. Demand forecasting is important to the supply chain because it is the process by which the strategic and operational strategies are devised. Think of it as the underlying hypothesis for strategic business activities and a starting point for most supply chain processes like raw material planning, purchasing, inbound logistics, cash flow, and manufacturing. If we will go in brief definition, brief of importance is there. Demand forecasting is important to the supply chain because it is a process by which strategic and operational strategy are devices. Because without forecasting, demand cannot be fulfilled. Because how we can fulfill the demand? When we will forecast where the requirement and in how much quantity requirement, then we can supply a proper material at proper place in the supply chain. So that demand forecasting very important thing to smooth operation of a manufacture of product. How does demand forecasting work? We have thrown a lot of information at you very quickly, but sales forecasting is a little more than use of sale data from the past to determine consumer demand in the future. The process can be broken down into qualitative and quantitative forecasting, both of which rely on different resources and data set. Exploratory use sales data. So here we have discussed qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative and quantitative means for a qualitative we have to provide a good quality material, and quantitative provide for quantitative quantitative forecasting how much quantity we require the material or product. For that we have to provide a raw material with the right quantity and right place, both of which relay different resources and data set. Explorate useful sets data. Demand forecasting technique: collective opinion, customer survey method, the barometric method, the expert opinion method, the market experiment method, the statistical method are the methods of demand forecasting. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video.